What's going on, NFL fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching the Underwear Olympics. Just kidding. This is the post-analysis of the 2017 NFL Combine, and I'm here with a special guest, the one and only Scope. What's going on?
Not too much, Brain. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Fantasy Couch fans? Glad to be here.
The Combine just happened. As you guys know, we're going to talk why it's important, why it's not maybe. We're going to talk about some standouts, what's going on, what's good, and talk a little bit about fantasy maybe, and maybe even the 2017 NFL Draft. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So, Scope, what's important about the Combine, or what's not important about it, and why, and what are your overall thoughts about the NFL Combine?
Well, I know we're a long way from fantasy football, but the Combine is still relevant, I promise you. All these crazy statistics and measurements and measurables, they all matter. Teams look for these things, and if they can find the right fit for their system and their scheme...
I think it's very important, especially for fantasy footballers like us, because you like to look at the last 3 years of an NFL player's career to properly project what they're going to do the next year. And there's really nothing to look off of. Like, a guy could be great in college and then get to the NFL and he's in terrible position, or he just sucks, he falls off, and it's really hard. So we like to look at this Combine. It's actually very relevant directly to fantasy football, and it's hard to judge rookies basically, and it's hard to know how these guys are going to do, what situations they're going to fall in. All the scouts are there, so we're there on the couch watching as well.
These measurables are what weeds out all the fantasy busts from all the fantasy studs.
What was awesome? Who were some standouts? What was impressive to you this year?
Wow. I mean, there was a few people that stood out. Myles Garrett, for sure, just a physical freak. He's going to ball out for whoever gets him, a.k.a. the Cleveland Browns. John Ross absolutely destroying Chris Johnson's 40-dash record. Wow. That man could be a playmaker in the NFL for sure. I mean, guys like Christian McCaffrey, who are just so well-rounded, super versatile, capable of playing special teams, pass game and run game. I mean, his measurables are exactly what you want to see from a guy who's trying to fit that versatile gadget player.
And that's the biggest surprise for me. I was most impressed with McCaffrey. I was a McCaffrey hater. I was like, PPR leagues, maybe, like, he'll be good, you know, he'll be like, okay. I don't even know when he'll get drafted, if the first round at all. But he's looking like first rounder, huh?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now, I mean, they were talking about him at the top of the second, bottom of the first before, but now he's in conversation to go as high as my Cincinnati Bengals at number 9.
Number 9, dang.
yeah. That's a reach. I hope we don't take him there.
That's very early, but I'd be totally shocked if he doesn't go first round.
Oh, yeah, that would be a shock if he doesn't. I mean, another player that comes to mind is Deshaun Watson. This man, with his Heisman Trophy, he showed up at the Combine something fierce. I mean, he was throwing that ball around like it was equipped with a laser-guided missile. He could really turn out to be a big fantasy sleeper. Like, if he finds the right team and if he's playing his first year, you know, all rookies go through their hard knocks, but he could find some success. Another really big standout, actually, is the safety Obi Melifonwu. He's a safety out of University of Connecticut, and he just absolutely obliterated the long jump. He had a vertical jump of 44 inches and a broad jump of 141 inches, which is 11 feet. And that is, I mean, can you jump 11 feet? Yeah, Alvin Kamara, he had a really good Combine. He definitely boosted his stock. Again, it's just the exact kind of measurables you want to see from a guy who's trying to be a first-round draft pick.
You think first round, possibly?
I do believe we could easily see 5 running backs drafted in the first round this year.
And that is very significant. Something we've never seen in a while. I can't even remember the last time something close to that happened. It just doesn't happen in this modern day NFL. So real quick, like one position I look at a lot in the Combine is running backs. I understand I need to look at all the positions, but that's just the one that's like, it's just so interesting to me, because wide receivers is just kind of boring sometimes, just because you get like 3-4 like last year No, there's no wide. All of them suck. Just about.
Laquan Treadwell.
One wide
Where'd
receiver.
he go?
Yeah, I drafted Laquan Treadwell.
I told you not to. Josh Doxson.
Luckily, you know what was awesome? Like all that stuff happened with Bridgewater, and it gave me the okay to cut him from my team before the season fantasy season started.
There you go.
So that's a blessing. So I just cut him and moved up because I know I would have kept making excuses to myself like I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep him. I cut him during preseason.
People drafted Josh Doxson thinking he was going to be the secret best receiver in the draft, and I'm not even sure if he caught a touchdown last year.
I think maybe his first game. Yeah, I mean, he didn't do anything. He's just on the Browns too.
They did. Redskins.
Oh, I'm thinking of who's the guy on the Browns. I was thinking
Coleman, Corey Coleman.
The guy you said who's a speedster but not great hands. Yeah. When you drafted Doxson, you thought he would be
Jamison Crowder, but Jamison Crowder was Jamison Crowder.
Anyway, running backs though, I try to I say 4.5 on the 40-yard dash is kind of my cutoff point. I'm not saying that guys who run 4.59 or something are horrible, won't do good. That's not the point. I'm just using this as a measurement. It's not the end all.
Standard, a bar.
Yeah, standard.
Your own personal preference.
Yeah, so but man, look at McCaffrey though, 4.48. That's nice. That's right under 4.5. So you like to look at 40 times. It does mean something for running backs. You don't want a super slow guy. Running back that me and you both like. You're a Bengals fan. Jeremy Hill, just in comparison, ran 4.66. He had really good 6 games his first rookie year or something, but now he's just a bust. I mean, he may not even be in the NFL much longer.
Also, yeah.
I mean,
measure well.
These stats do matter. But
go on. He was taken in the second round for that. And since you like running backs, Brain, I've got a nice little gift-wrapped surprise for you. A man by the name of Curtis Samuel from Ohio State. He's either a running back or a wide receiver, so I could be lying to you, and I apologize. But regardless, he has some patience that almost reminds me of Le'Veon Bell, and this is a man who could come in and be this year's Tyreek Hill because he is not the highest ranked running back. I want to say he's maybe 5th or 6th on most experts' boards, but he could be a very sneaky player come maybe even mid-season, similar to a Tyreek Hill.
It depends who drafts him.
Most definitely. Right fit, right scheme.
What about Jabrill Peppers? This is a guy that a lot of people talked about, and I was watching the combine wow, he was kind of stealing the show after the running backs did their thing, of course, because that's what I was watching. But after that, Jabrill Peppers, and of course Garrett too, but Jabrill Peppers really stole the show. I started really paying close attention to this guy. But does this guy have bust potential written all over it because he did perform so well physically? Or is he going to be good?
There are hidden footprints in those sand, hiding from a lot of people. His measurables are great. He is a linebacker playing safety and capable of knocking the teeth out of, probably Adrian Peterson. But the man has 1 career interception. 1. And that, to me, as from a safety standpoint, even a linebacker standpoint, you want your players to have some ball skills and be able to make plays and create those turnovers. But that being said, he will definitely find his way to the tackle books and to the tackle box. And definitely, I mean, he is a sideline to sideline defender. He is probably one of the premier tacklers in this draft. But that 1 interception is just a big glaring red flag to me. Another really good surprise, Zay Jones showed up and had a really good combine as well. I mean, he's a playmaker. He can catch some touchdowns. He won't be drafted in the first round, maybe the second, probably the third, but that's another guy I like who I'm going to keep my eye on.
Who sucked? Who's this? I'm looking forward to seeing this guy in the combine, but then underwhelmed.
Man, he's on everyone's tongues. Everyone wants to talk about him. Leonard Fournette. He jumped. I mean, he did not jump very well. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I believe
what was it? 28, 25.5
28 and a half inches.
So give me a decent guy. What is for a vertical jump for a running back? Just a ballpark range. What are you looking for a vertical jump?
Just in comparison, I mean, Leonard Fournette is like 240, 6'1". Christian McCaffrey is not those things. He's 6 feet, I want to say 215, something like that. But Christian McCaffrey had a vertical jump of 37.5 inches. And I know, it's like 10 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but 10 inches is a lot when you're trying to catch a ball or jump over a defender trying to tackle you low.
Like me, I don't think vertical is a big deal when it comes to running back.
It goes in with running and with their stride, because if you have really good leaping ability, that means those same muscles can help push your legs to just be stronger. And as big as Leonard Fournette is, his 40 time is a 4.51, which is pretty good for a guy his size. But again, I mean, his ability is to bust tackles, to stiff arm people, to just bulldoze over everyone. I mean, he has agility for that size, but again, to not show up like that in those ways at the combine, like some of his measurables are a little bit of a red flag. Someone's definitely going to draft him in the top 10 probably because of his playmaking ability, but just a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to see him just totally knock the combine out of the park and secure himself a spot in the top 10.
We were talking about vertical jump earlier. Like, I don't think it's a big deal for running backs, but yeah, I mean, everything, if someone's like really athletic, they can do really athletic football activities and tests like this. So you were kind of saying like, okay, it's a red flag, this and that. So would you say like a running back who did less than a 30 or 31 inch on a vertical jump could be a red flag? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe just a bit more of a one-dimensional back. Like, probably not going to see him make too many catches over the middle or, catches fade routes in the back in the end zone or anything. But he'll definitely be bowling over some guys, that's for sure.
So I call them zombie tackles. When a defender is on the ground, like when I played Madden a lot, that's what I would call them. Like a guy's already he's already down, but if you touch his hand, you'll fall. Like, I mean, that's, jumping over people. But we do see every year, like there's always like 2, 3, maybe 4 memes of the NFL player jumping. I guess the most famous one is Antonio Brown when he karate chopped that dude.
Yeah.
Kicked him in his face. But there's always dudes jumping. LeGarrette Blount did once or twice too. Once when he was on the Bucks. Even that guy, big power back.
Yeah, Todd Gurley recently had a few nice highlight reel jumps, but fortunately he didn't have too many last year.
That was horrible for whoever drafted him.
Yeah, that's a conversation for a whole another day.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael Flabiano.
Yeah, Fabs. Thanks for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, keep moving on. Who else sucked? Who else disappointed?
2 big old disappointments. Cooper Kupp, the wide receiver who everyone is thinking is going to be just a Jordy Nelson clone. Pedestrian 40 time with a 4.62.
What's Jordy's? I'm going to look that up right now if you don't know. Keep going.
Go for it, because it's funny that Cooper Kupp ran a 4.62 because he could probably be covered by the next guy that disappointed. Teez Tabor also ran a 4.62 40, and that man is a cornerback. And unless I'm mistaken, those guys are supposed to be faster than, or at least they should be faster than everyone on the field.
He can shut down Kupp.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Right?
Yeah, he's going to
Jordy, by the way, 4.51.
Yeah, see, Jordy's... Yeah, I mean, if Cooper Kupp showed up with a 4.51, that, he would probably cement himself as, high round 2, maybe bottom of the first wide receiver, but now his draft stock is falling.
Let's talk. All right, we're on wide receivers, so this is like the second position I look at the most in the combine. Then comes quarterback, believe it or not. Because quarterback is just, I don't know, it's just too weird. It's just like a team just drops everything they're doing. They stop eating their sandwich. They drop it, and then they go, and then they just get a quarterback because they need one. Like, they're so desperate, and it's so hard to get a good quarterback. It's just that position. But wide receiver, though, What do you think about wide receiver class? I'm hearing Mike Williams. I mean, he was like, I was like, I want to draft this guy in fantasy. Like, he's the for sure thing. He's not running the 40. So talk a little bit about like first round and second round wide receivers. Wide receivers we think that are going to get drafted early.
Corey Davis is another one of those names.
He's now
also
becoming number one, right?
It's kind of been a toss. Depending on who you're talking to, Corey Davis has always been the number one ranked. They are a little bit different in their skill sets. Mike Williams is a very big body, and he's going to go up and fight for that ball. Corey Davis is a playmaker. He's going to get behind the defense, really crisp route running skills. I don't want to compare the two of them to Julio and AJ, Mike Williams being Julio and Corey Davis being AJ Green. But that's kind of the only thing in recent memory and history that I can compare these two guys to, like just how close they are in skill. It's going to be interesting to see who goes first, and lots of people have one of these guys going to my Cincinnati Bengals, which I don't believe they'll take that route, but if they do, it's going to be one of those two guys.
Hey, they definitely could, but stay tuned for my mock draft. We'll be doing that.
Oh
later.
yeah,
I think they might, man. With Eifert's injuries, I mean, if you knew Eifert and AJ Green were gonna be healthy, I mean, no team knows that. But I mean, if you knew that, then I'd be like, probably not. I mean, they'll find some other compliment for a third. But knowing that you probably won't have both those guys for 16 games, it's just rare. I mean, it's just rare to have two guys that and. AJ Green's fine, but Eifert's always hurt. So
it's actually good you should mention Eifert, because being an injury-prone tight end as he is, the Bengals might actually be looking to draft another tight end. Maybe not in round 1, but at the top of round 2. There's a guy out there that's being compared to Jordan Reed, like no other.
I hate comparison sometimes. And rookie tight ends, I don't watch. It's so annoying. It's so don't get too excited about the rookie tight end. And then when you get to my level, like, okay, I'm not excited. Boom, one comes out and one's good. It's like one every 7-8 years. That's a good rookie tight end. Like, it's so rare.
This year might be one of those years to just totally blow that stereotype out of the water, because this is one of the deepest tight end draft classes in a long time.
You get a good one. That means you can probably get a good one in round 3 or 4 possibly then.
Most definitely, yeah. There are 2 that are going to go in the first round. I mean, I would be surprised if either of them fall out of the first round, and that's O.J. Howard and David Njoku. Pardon me for butchering that, which I'm sure I did. But those 2 are most definitely projected to go in the first round. But the man I was talking of, his name is Evan Engram. He's actually the fastest tight end in the draft, along with having some good hands and some good height at 6'3". We're going to 4.42, which is better than a lot of these running backs we're talking about. And that is just a matchup nightmare. I mean, this man has agility. He's got hands. I mean, he's probably going to go in the second round. Fantasy sleeper, not going to lie. He's on my radar more than the other 2, actually, just because of his playmaking skills. He's a receiver playing tight end.
Vernon Davis is 6'3", so that just comes to, because I mean, he was so fast. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind. He was 6'3", same height as Engram, and Davis ran, what was it, 4? It's pretty close, 4.38 for the 40, 4.38, and your guy Engram 4.42, very close. So I take it this guy's like the pass catching tight end, right?
Yeah, I mean 36-inch vertical jump. Vertical jump. That's. I mean, he can fight for contested balls. I mean, he's going to catch some touchdowns.
Is that the best tight end this draft?
His measurables maybe, but the other 2 are just a little bit more polished than he is. Probably a little bit more pro ready. I could see Evan Engram maybe fully adjusting to his new playbook and fully developing maybe mid-season. It could be one of those players that will end up being a waiver wire target. I mean, again, I know that rookie tight ends don't always produce, but remember that name, Evan Engram.
So second rounder?
Probably he will be drafted in the second round of the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
NFL draft.
Yeah, those are some good combine measurements. So anybody else who was surprisingly bad, or is that it?
Reuben Foster. I'm sure many people have heard that evidently he cussed out some hospital worker or something. Anytime that you get sent home from the combine, it's not a good sign. This man is going to plummet down draft boards. I hear he's writing letters to every single NFL owner and coach, apologizing and explaining himself. But again, just the fact that you have to do that, that's not good.
Yeah. The other guy that I was talking, a lot of people talk to me about is Mixon.
Yeah. Joe Mixon, a man some people described as a Le'Veon Bell clone. He's got talent, but I mean, if being a Cincinnati Bengals fan, I'm familiar with off the field issues being a concern with my man Vontaze Burfict. He cleaned up the Zach this year,
and on the field.
Yeah, really, and on the field as well. Yeah. Oh well. I suppose
that's what I know
fair.
more
I guess
for is on the field and
on the field.
On the field antics.
Yeah.
Well, the video though, man. When a video comes out, I think that's like a huge hit.
Character concerns can be a huge issue. You do not want to bring someone toxic into your locker room, and I doubt that's what a lot of NFL teams are willing to do.
You're gonna take such a PR hit now that video came out. I've seen it, by the way. If you haven't, you can Google it. If you don't want to see a woman get hit, don't Google it. But if you want to see the tape, it's pretty bad. It's just like the Ray Rice tape, pretty much. It's very similar. He knocked out a woman. It's crazy. And when it's on video, wow, you're gonna take such a PR hit right when you draft that guy. I mean, nobody likes that guy because of that, and it's just, it's awful. From what I hear, he'll be given a chance to show off his skills, and he's gonna be drafted at some point. That's what
he will be drafted, and
I mean, we'll see. And he'll be on a short leash. One more screw up, and you're out. I'm getting a little paranoid. My camera might die. I hope not. But before we leave, man, sell these people on why the combine is dope. Why and what to look for in this NFL class, NFL draft class. What's going to be awesome? What's different? Because we've been talking before we recorded this. This is a little bit different year. There could be some cool stuff happening.
The combine is important because we do need to know these measurables. We need to know who's faster than who. We need to know if these guys can perform up to these standards at a moment's notice while being tested in something like the combine or being tested in a live game situation. They're all different kinds of tests, and NFL managers and coaches and scouts, they all look for very important little clues and cues that are going to tell them if this player is going to be a productive member of their football team or not. And while not a lot of NFL teams are going to tell anyone what they truly think about lots of these players, because it's all a bunch of smokes and ladders as far as who's going to draft who until it actually happens. So I am actually personally really excited about this draft because it is the deepest wide receiver and running back class in a long time.
That's what I like. That's the positions I like, especially in fantasy.
Most definitely so ridiculously deep in cornerback and safety, though. I mean, we're going to see probably a dozen corners and safeties taken in the first round. I mean, at least. It could change a little bit of how the NFL looks, too, because I mean, if all of these highly touted corners and safeties come in and play at the level that, presumably they will, it could make the passing game a lot harder in this league. It could bring back the running game, especially with all these talented running backs. I mean, you never know. This could be a crazy year in football.
I think it's still going to be a passing league because the rules dictate what's going on.
Most definitely they
running
do.
Backs are always super important, but their career lifespan is so short that
man, but you gotta fight the system.
It's tough. But then I can see what you mean though, because you could go against the grain. Now, boom, you got a dope running back. You have that next running back that everyone looks for. David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell. Before them, Adrian Peterson.
Everyone's
that one guy. And
everyone's tooling their defenses to play against passing games. If you get that running back, that's just gonna, make people have the game plan.
Yeah, but somebody asked me about fullbacks this morning, and I was like, nah. Not coming back. Like, I mean, you still like. I still like having a fullback, but it's not going to be like power I formation, power strong fullback. Like the fullback's in there for 70% of the plays. No, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think Leonard Fournette needs a fullback. I don't think he thinks he needs one either.
That's a good point. Like he's good back there himself. Real quick, I think Deshaun Watson's the best cornerback in this draft. The
Best quarterback?
Quarterback, yes.
Yeah, I actually agree. I mean, there's some talent in there. DeShone Kizer's shown some upside.
But do you think NFL teams would probably agree too?
I think so as well. I mean, he looked really crisp with the combine. I think teams looking for a quarterback are going to take a long, hard look at him and Mitch Trubisky, the other popular name being thrown to the 49ers. Personally, between the two, Deshaun Watson, his measurables are just a little bit better. I mean, he's got some winning experience. His statistics in college are just, you can't ignore 4,000 yards 2 times in a row, much less the second time being 4,500 yards and 41 touchdowns. That's a lot. That's a lot of touchdowns. That's a lot for the NFL.
But you agreed with me, though. So he agreed with me. Deshaun Watson, we think so. And we think that the NFL teams will probably agree. Deshaun Watson, number 1 quarterback.
It's close, though, for sure.
That's about it for our combine talk. Make sure you guys are on the lookout for my NFL mock draft on roids that will be coming out. Like the video, dislike it. Let me know if you guys like Scode, if you hate him, if you want to see more videos. We plan to have more videos, but if you hate him, we won't have him on. But if you like it, we're going to do more NFL videos like this. So we're going to bring him on a couple more times. But let me know what you guys think. Once I come out with the mock draft on roids, he'll come on. He'll tear it to shreds or sometimes agree with my picks. It's all good. Thanks for coming on, Scope.
No problem. My pleasure to help cover Under Armour Fest 2017.
Can't wait for the next combine. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace out.
Tiger tattoo. Tiger tattoo.
Gotta cut. My camera's dying. Camera's dying.
Wait. Don't cut. Yeah. Buy them online. Be as cool as me.
The camera didn't die. Thank God.
All right.